Alright, hey guys, what's up again? This is my next video where I talked about just a few talents, not a lot, that I think that should be added on to Ring of Honor's roster. A few of these guys are on the indie scene. Excuse me. Some of these other guys that I have on the short list are talent from TNA and WWE, where their contracts are coming to a close, but there's still no word yet if they may resign with these companies or not. But just put in a what if, if they don't resign, that they should come to Ring of Honor, that these are the talents that should come to Ring of Honor. So number one on my list of who should come to Ring of Honor, I don't know if you said with or not, but I'm just putting it out there anyway, is Chris, where the hell are you, Hero? Chris Hero, I don't know what's going on with this cat. He was supposed to come in with the WWE with Claudio as a tag team into the WWE. They had their last match. Hero with Claudio had their last match here at Chicago when they had the Sinclair Broadcast TV taping. But Claudio is already in signed by WWE developmental deal at least, which is stupid. But there's still no word on Chris Hero if he's been in negotiations with the WWE or if he's even still within Ring of Honor. And so, I say to myself, if Hero's not having anything to do with WWE, I don't know what's going on. Maybe they're trying to keep stuff on a hush hush. I don't know. Maybe Hero will appear in Ring of Honor. Maybe they might work a storyline or something, try to keep him on a hush hush, keep him down, low key for a while. I don't know. But man, if things don't work out with the WWE, I would like Chris Hero to stay with Ring of Honor Wrestling. Second guy, he's already, I guess you can say he's already in ROH, but I guess it's not really official yet, and that's Kevin Steen. Now, lately Kevin Steen has worked some good stuff, and even the Mad Scientist too, when I had made a video a couple months back talking about, who should ROH add to their roster, because it's lacking. The Mad Scientist had brought up Kevin Steen. I'm like, yeah, that is a good idea. And, and it seems like, they had this whole thing with Kevin Steen, trying to come back into the company, but Jim Cornette won't allow him. So it's pretty evident that, he's going to be with the company. This is an angle or storylines they're working with. But, I mean, still, just give Steen a contract to ROH. Just give him an exclusive contract. We miss him. Another guy on my list is Dylan Drake. Some people may not know him. Dylan Drake comes from APW wrestling promotion. Absolutely crappy indie wrestling promotion. I'm surprised that they've lasted as long as they have for nearly almost 20 years, literally. But Dylan Drake is another guy who I think is really talented. He kind of reminds me a lot of like Wade Barrett a little bit. Kind of has a look of Wade Barrett. I think he's a better wrestler. I think he is a better wrestler than Wade Barrett, but it kind of favors him a little bit since he has blonde hair. But I think Dylan Drake would be a nice addition, I think, to like the main event aspect of ROH. Some other guys I would like to see in Ring of Honor. They've had history with the company. They've been there before, but they're no longer there. One is Amazing Red. Amazing Red, it's been released by TNA. They dropped the ball on that. Amazing Red has not amazing, but he has history with Ring of Honor Wrestling. So I'd love to see him come back. That's another guy who I think could add something to that upper mid-card roster. Another guy is Jack Evans. That probably won't work out because Jack Evans is doing some stuff in AAA. But, I mean, hey, once his stuff is done in AAA, I think Ring of Honor could really bring him in. He'd be another great guy. Evans is a bit of a spot monkey, but, I really don't care. He's a talented guy. I probably would consider Jack Evans to be one of the best, one of the best lightweight, if not the single best lightweight, wrestler of today. I would probably consider him to be. So Jack Evans is another one. He's like 29 or 30, so he's still in his prime. So I pick him up too. Another guy who has a lot of history with Ring of Honor is Loki. I would like to see Loki get back into Ring of Honor, but that might not work because of some stuff said anyway that Loki has kind of burned his bridges a little bit with ROH, so that might not happen. But I mean, I don't know if it's true or not. But if it's not true, I would love to see Loki come back into the ROH. So the other guys I'm going to mention are guys who are in TNA and in WWE, but their contracts are coming up, and like I said, no definite word as to if these guys are going to actually resign their contracts with these companies, but I'm just throwing it out there. Should they not resign and not go to either or brand, WWE or TNA, but Ring of Honor? So first is Yoshitatsu. I think Yoshitatsu is one of the underrated talents who don't get utilized very well in WWE. And WWE really don't use that many foreign wrestlers anyway, unless they come from like Mexico or something. But anything from Mexico, they don't really use any other foreign wrestlers. And I think for Canada, but I think Japan has really had some great talent. If you look at New Japan Pro Wrestling, Dragon Gate, things of that sort, there are good Japanese wrestlers. And Yoshitatsu is no exception to that. And I think Yoshitatsu will make a tremendous addition to the ROH roster. I would love to see that. Another guy I would like to see is Trent Beretta. His contract is coming up as well. I don't see him leaving WWE, but he's another guy who's just unutilized. He's nothing but a jobber, pretty much is what they use him as a jobber in squash matches. I think he'd be a nice addition as well to an not upper card, but a mid card type of guy I like to see. Another guy is, it will probably never happen, it's far-fetched, but another guy is John Morrison. John Morrison is, now this is, definitely a fact, is that John Morrison's contract is expiring in December this year, and there is no word of him re-signing with the WWE, yet alone it said that WWE do not want to re-sign John Morrison. And it's also saying that close sources are saying that Morrison is looking to possibly get into TNA, and he'll come into TNA, and TNA will name him Johnny Thunder as sort of like a jab or pun intended joke. When WWE had called him Johnny Nitro, they call him Johnny Thunder. So this one could be possibly just far-fetched, but if John Morrison should, not re-sign his contract with the E, which, like I said, possibly most likely not at all stuff I'm hearing, he might go to TNA, but still, he's someone I would like to see in Ring of Honor wrestling. I think that would be kind of cool. And then the last guy who I think should be in Ring of Honor, his contract expires sometime in spring next year, March, April kind of time. His contract expires. They're not using him at all. I would love to see him. This guy has so much history. I mentioned him in my last video before this one, and that is Samoa Joe. I would love to see Samoa Joe back in ROH. He's another guy, too, who, like I said, should he not resign his contract with TNA, he might go to the E. But my only concern, and I wouldn't mind seeing Samoa Joe in the WWE, but my only concern with that is knowing how WWE is, I don't think they've really fully used Samoa Joe to his full potential, yet alone I don't think Joe's the type of guy that you would take and you just put in your main roster. He doesn't require any training or need to learn anything else. I mean, the guy's 32, 33 years old. What more can he learn? You know what I mean? I mean, he has some experience underneath his belt, and I just think, having a talent like Samoa Joe, if he was to go to WWE, they're not going to put him in the main roster. They're going to slap him in Florida Championship Wrestling developmental deal, have him work there for a year and a half, which to me I think would make no sense at all. Because I'm saying myself, this guy's already slightly past his prime, but still in it. He's over the hump of the 20s, and he's in his early 30s. And just to have someone of him standing around, in a year and a half, and a wrestling school, which he doesn't need, it just takes time away from him that he could and things he could be doing if you put him on the main roster. So that would be my only concern if Joe were to go to the E. But if Joe has no interest in going to WWE. If he, does not resign with TNA, he's one I would definitely love to see back into Ring of Honor wrestling. So this is just another short list. There are a ton of other indie guys I would have put on the list. That was on the list I would like to see in Ring of Honor wrestling. But these are just a short list I just wanted to make real quick. I might do another video of another list of wrestlers that I like to see in Ring of Honor wrestling. But let me know what you guys think of this list, this video. Comment, subscribe. Let me know who would you like to see in Ring of Honor on the Indies, TNA, or in WWE. So peace out. That's it.